How is it going, guys? Hope you are all doing well. We're getting back into another session here on GG Poker, playing some 25 cent, 50 cent, using 5 cards. Guys, if you like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also check out the link below the episode. If you want to learn more 5-card PLO, then head over to the PLOmastermind.com. Okay, let's get right into it. I opened up 4 tables and we're gonna see how things will evolve. Hope we find some interesting hands. Well, I don't know really. I think it's probably a fold. And yeah, let me guys know if you are playing this game, if you like to see more 5-card PLO content, or if you prefer 4-card PLO. Then I will get back more into that. But without further ado, I'm gonna play some hands. Double suited queens on table number 3. I'm gonna play this one. I will just... Yeah, it's a little bit tricky because they are so short, but let's play some hands, guys. Let's play some hands. We have some connection, of course, and we can flop completely nothing. I just got back from my holiday. I went to England for a little bit less than 2 weeks. Had a great time. And then now it's time to get back into the routines, the daily grind, working on my game, playing poker, all those things. Always takes a while, right? If you took a break, then think about how are you getting back into it. What is your strategy? Against a pot size bet, we have a double gutter. Pretty close. I don't think I want like folding, but I will fold now. Yeah, beautiful hand. I just got back basically, and always it takes a while to recover. Not necessarily recover from your holiday, but more so get back into your daily routines here. I played my first PLO session already last Sunday, which I enjoyed. But I only played like for 3 hours, 2.5 hours, so a short session. I did that on purpose. The first session, I don't necessarily want to play like 5 hours or longer, but just get some feeling back, play some hands, gain some confidence again. Don't play too many tables, just take it easy. And just get your mind back from like a relaxation state sort of to a state where you are thinking intensively again and you are basically trying to make money being a poker player. So that is what I did the first session. I also worked on some content creation, which helped me to again think actively about PLO, to get back into the mindset of being a poker player, and just take it easy in the first few days basically. That is what I would recommend in general. You don't want to rush back into it. Let's call this one. Yeah, you don't want to rush. You don't want to rush back into it basically, and then realize that you should have taken a little bit more time. I'm gonna fold. This is also interesting. We could check raise. I think check raise or potting is both fine. We're gonna check rip it now. There we go. Very, very powerful rep, guys. Look at this hand. What else can you want? What else do you want? 3-way all in. And we are up against a higher flush draw. Let's hit. Nope. Unfortunately, the nut flush draw takes it down. Unfortunate. I'll look back into that hand in a second. I'm gonna squeeze first sit out. Okay, let's see. So we've our three-way. We're just gonna pot on this board. Expect a lot of fold equity. And the money will go in. And he has a pair. And now he has two pair. We have an open ender. We have an open ender. Do we hit? No. Unfortunate, unfortunate, guys. So we lose that hand. Let's look into a couple of hands because that went all relatively quickly. We can start with the hand that we just played on the other table, which was this one. So we have a wrap basically. We ISO raise pre-flop versus a limper in the cutoff, which is fine with this hand. The big blind overcalls with a very disconnected and weak hand. I wouldn't recommend playing it like that pre-flop. I would just fold. Then this player limp calls a hand that you also don't necessarily want to limp. So I also don't like his pre-flop play. On the flop, I could definitely bet it. For sure, my hand is strong enough to bet or check raise. I decided to check raise because on this board, I'm not betting too often. And I expect one of my opponents to hit this board well enough that they are taking enough steps. So I'm planning to check raise. He pots, he bets, he calls, I check raise, the money goes in. This player has middle pair and a nut flush draw. I mean, not too much he can do on the flop. Just get it in, seems fine. This player, he has a wrap, but no flush draw, no backdoor flush draw, no pair. Seems a little bit light, but he was short, so could also be not too bad on the flop, although not a big fan of it. Anyway, we lose that hand, unfortunate. Not sure if you can see how much equity I had. I was holding 27% equity only, look at that. 27% on the flop with this monster hand. Flush draw was dominated, he had also a straight draw. So that was unfortunate. I also played this hand, which is kind of interesting. You didn't saw it on screen. I open raise king, queen, queen, 3-3. Double suited on the button. The big blind calls. The big blind leads out for a 3/4 pot on this board. We have a flush draw and a backdoor flush draw and a backdoor straight draw. We have an easy call in position. On the turn, my opponent bets 3/4 pot again. And on this situation, we turn the blockers to the nut straight. And we have a double flush draw. So we have the diamonds and the clubs. So I decided to actually pot it. Because I don't think my opponent will have the nuts very often. I do think he has the jack high straight a decent amount of the time. And maybe he can even fold some of them. But if not, we have definitely enough equity, I would say, to still get it in with my double flush draw and a gutter. My opponent calls. Kind of weird. River, he gets it in. We call, of course, rivering the flush. And my opponent ended up having the jack high straight. So a little bit of a weird play by him. I don't think it's great. I would check call the flop with my naked nut straight. Maybe check raise, but definitely not lead, I would say, with that bad of a runouts. Turn, I think in his shoes, don't necessarily like it, I would say. That big of a sizing. If he bets, he would probably go smaller or just check call. But yeah. I think versus pot size raise also on the turn, he should probably just fold. No redraws. And I think the in-position player, me in this instance, will have queen jack too often. That he's just drawing very dead, basically. We also had one hand here. Which was it? It was the ace 9-7, ace 9-7 6. We squeeze and the money goes in on a 9 high board. My opponent has top pair, backdoor, straight draw. I mean, yeah, seems fine. SPR2. Unfortunately, we lose that hand. Okay, let's get back into it, guys. Starting off with some heads up action against Kargas on table number 3. Let's see if we find some better tables. I think we can. Unfortunately, that table died. What are we doing here? Let's just call it. Let's just call it. Check. Okay, I'm gonna put myself on a couple of waiting lists. This will also be a fold. Here, we're just checking. So we did have some interesting big hands right away. And I think that's an interesting thing to keep in mind, guys, if you are starting your session. And sometimes we have a 7. I think I'm actually gonna pot it. We can definitely have like some 5-6 or some 5 deuce in the big blind. You can fold out ace X, 10x. But yeah, sometimes you end up in big pots right away into your session. So I think it's helpful in those situations, especially if you lose them, to just recoup a little bit and take some deep breaths and ask yourself like, okay, did I make the right play? Is this just variance? It's just part of the game. Nothing is happening. It's just part of one big session, basically, that I'm playing as a poker player. But unfortunately, it happened in the beginning of the session. But don't get frustrated or annoyed by it. Don't take it into the rest of your session. That's all I'm trying to say. It just happened. Accept it and then move on. Even though it's obviously not a great thing if that happens right away in one of your first hands. I will fold this one. Double suited hand versus a limper seems pretty weak. 10 high rundown. If this 3 would be a 5 or so, I think raising is okay. But I think now folding should be the play. Let's fold it. Let's fold it. Might be loose. Might be loose. We're getting a call on the button. Gonna do a check here. Especially versus 2 opponents, we have to be way more selective. Easy fold. And in this situation, my opponent plays a very wide range, 86%. Over 121 hands. So on ace high, king high boards, you can do a lot more betting. If you play on GG, then definitely look into these things, right? Like open their sort of smart hut, that's how they call it, and see, okay, 22 hands, 68 VPIP. Well, this guy probably is playing more hands than he should. We have Choan in the small blind, 69 VPIP over 14 hands. Not a big sample, but it can definitely tell a story. We're gonna do a lot of checking on this board. Big blind connects well. We will have a ton of overpairs. My hand, I would say, is also a good candidate to just check. We really hope to see a check now. This is, of course, not great. 2 straights. There are boats out there. Versus a half pot size bet. Not sure. We might be able to just call once. Okay, we're just ending up folding. Don't think my hand makes sense to call down. Yeah, I don't know. Let me actually turn on the lights, guys. Let me turn on the lights. You can actually see me. So the plan now is to, the coming days, recoup my poker energy, get back into the zone, into the flow, play poker, study poker, create content, work on my game, be active on social media, also sharing what I'm doing on a daily basis. So if you want to follow me on social media, especially on Instagram, head over there to see how my daily life looks like, how do I work on my game, etc. Ace ace 10 8 6 three-way again. I would say this is a check. And I think we should just check fold, to be honest. I'll share the link to my Instagram account below as well. You can click on that if you are interested in picking up aces on the button. This player. Okay. Decent hand on table number 2. I will raise it up versus the limper like this guy. Make sure to color code these guys. I'm using like light pink basically for pre-flop passive players. And here we are. I mean, I think we should just call. Okay, this is not too great. This is not too great. This is not what we do. I don't know. What should we do, guys? Are we in a gamble mode or not? I don't know. Yeah. Don't like it. Don't like it. Don't love it. I don't know. Maybe it's just a fold there. I don't really think I want to stack off. And we, of course, would have flopped the nuts. We, of course, would have flopped the nuts. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Yeah, sometimes you put yourself into a difficult decision, guys. Yeah, it's probably just a fold versus squeeze. But I'm not sure. Flopping a boat versus 2 opponents. Ooh, quaddies, quaddies, quaddies. Let's mean, let's bet it. See a call. I mean, if he has an ace, he's going to bet. If he has a missed draw, I want him to bluff. Okay, so good check. He was never going to call that. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed this quick session, guys. Playing some 5-card PLO. A lot of big hands, actually. There was also one hand over here that I didn't even show because we were in another hand, but we doubled up versus this player. We opened the button, ace, queen, jack, 9, 5 single. We call a 3-bet. And then we're basically calling down 3 streets while we have the nuts and my opponent has ace X. We take down a nice pot there. On this situation, I feel like I can just pot it twice. Ooh, now we have a king. Now we have a king. Okay, I'm gonna check because we're now winning against 2 pair. And he has a straight, of course. He wins. Okay, guys, thank you very much for taking your time to watch this episode. Appreciate it. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy 5-card PLO. If you want to learn more about it, head over to the PLOmastermind.com. Follow me on Instagram if you want to see more of myself. And guys, that's going to be it. Take care. Good luck next time you sit down at the tables. Make sure to crush these guys. Focus. Take your time. And enjoy the game. It's a beautiful game, so have fun and catch you guys in the next one. Over and out. Bye bye.